Hi everyone. What we're going to talk today about machetes. Both Shadow and I are big fans of machetes. We use them a lot. We got 5 of them here. Okay. First we'll go into, this is what I use on a daily basis. This here is a Brazilian-made machete. I don't know if it's a Tramontina or not. I picked up at an Army surplus store for $8. Works fantastic. I use it all the time, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever you go in the woods, you take that one.
Yeah.
Now that one also has a full wood handle on it.
It has a full handle, full tang, right? And I put a piece of rubber on it to give it better grip. This machete is great. Holds a good edge. Sharpened it a couple of times a year. Chops really well. Seen one of my other videos, I'm using this one. Alright, now this machete here, I've had this for a very, very long time. This is the one Shadow uses. This is a Tramontina, made in Brazil, as you can see. Alright. I paid $3 for this back in the early 70s. And it's still going strong. And this also has a full wood tang in it.
Yeah, I just put some electrical tape on it to personalize it and give it a little bit more grip in the wet.
Yeah. Now, we also have is another Tramontina. Alright? I got this in a deal. Buddy came up with 2 machetes. This one, and it was missing a handle, and another one, and he said, if you sharpen this one, you can have this one. I said, sure, no problem. So I did this. This is identical to this, and they're identical almost. Probably made in different year manufacturers, and I made the handle for this. And again, I made it out of plywood, and this is a good machete as well. This one here is one I picked up. This here is got a military number on it. This is a military one. I picked it up. I traded a guy a buttstock for it a while back. I don't much care for this one because it's too long, and I found I had
too long of a swing. You're hitting your pant leg there just playing with it.
Yeah. Alright. Now this one here, duct tape on the handle, rusty old thing. We keep this in the car. This is one of your Canadian Tire / Walmart / box store machetes. It's got duct tape on the handle because the handle came off after
second use.
Yeah, second use.
It was the second use cutting small wood. The vibration from using it cracked the handle.
Now, from a daily point of view, right, I have used this one, right, a lot.
And I spent a week camping with it.
And you spent a week camping with it?
Yep.
That's a Hurt Tramontina. And I use this one, which has got a little it's a little heavier, and it's a little bit bigger. I like this one. It's not a bad deal. If you're going to get a machete, and you go to Walmart or Target or any place, if you're in Canada, Canadian Tire, any of these, and you see these plastic handle things,
and you can tell them because they come with this stupid nylon case.
This terrible nylon case. It's just absolutely awful. You know, this is something you could keep in a car for an emergency, right?
Or roadkill.
Roadkill, you use it.
It's still got blood and hair on it from
Yeah.
the deer I got the other day.
Yeah. How is this? How was it? How did it work?
It's good for decapitation only if you use a beetle with it.
Okay.
If you swing it, there's no
Explain
weight.
what a beetle is.
A beetle is that big wooden, is almost like a bat.
baton.
Yeah, a baton.
Yeah, okay.
If you use something like that with it, and you just lay the blade against the neck and beat on it with the wood, it's good. If you get it between the vertebrae, it won't cut through vertebrae.
No.
and when you swing it, it does not have the weight to do anything.
How does it feel? The shock?
You can feel some shock to it. It's
Is it like this here? Do you find the same shock?
It actually feels better with the wooden handle because the wood absorbs it a bit, I think.
Okay. All right.
Now, when I was camping a couple years ago, the one I was camping with had one of those crappy tire ones.
Yeah.
And the thing was actually bending.
It was bending. Yeah.
And he wasn't bending it or playing with it. It was just chopping the firewood.
You know what?
Looking
at this right now, I can see this is bent.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if you can. I don't know if the camera will pick this up or not. It's got a slight bend in it. If you put it up,
it'd be hard to tell.
If you put it up next to your Tramontina there, you can see it. Look. You see the bend?
Yeah, it's a slight one to the right, I think.
Yeah, it's a slight one to the right. And this has not seen the use that this has.
No.
Right? I used this for a long time in the military. Right? And this one here, in the last 8 years, I've used this. Well, I've used this probably for 6 years in a row.
Yeah, almost every day.
Almost every day for something. Right? This one here, tried it out. Came too close to the leg. Right? I would have to. You know, this is a nice machete, but the reason I wanted it, it's got a military number on it. Now, having said all that, you know, these two are just your Brazilian type machetes. Brazil makes great machetes, but there are a couple of American manufacturers that make great machetes too. Ontario is one of them. Right? Now, I'm familiar with the Ontario machete. It's a really good machete. Now, Cold Steel makes a whole array of machetes. I do not know what Cold Steel's like, right? And I do not know what Gerber machete's like. Myself personally, I would stay away. I don't like the ones with the sawbacks, right? I mean, a tool is a tool, right? That's a machete, right? I have a folding saw, right? I also, if I need a saw, I have a saw blade in my machete case that I can make. If you look at my video,
the bow saw.
How to make a bow saw, right? And so I carry that in my case. I made that case quite some time ago. And a piece of rope, a carabiner on it, and I just loop it up over like that, and off I go. Right? Shadow does the same thing. But this one we keep in the car.
Oh, no, that's mine.
No, the piece of junk we keep in the car. Somebody breaks into the car, steals it.
No problem. They got a $10 machete.
Yeah.
That's
we didn't
break.
pay $10 for it because we used Canadian Tire money, remember?
Yep.
Right?
We bought 2 of them with Canadian Tire money.
And the handle broke.
On the second use?
We gave one to your sister, didn't she?
Yeah.
And did she hack herself with it or something?
Yeah, she cut the tendon in her finger.
I sharpened it.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you're going for a machete, I'd really try and get one of the Brazilian machetes, right?
See, you can see the flex in that metal.
Well, you see that? That is just way too easy. Like, even if I put that back, there's more tension to this than there is to this, right? I mean, if we just sort of...
Now, that cheap one?
Yeah.
For me, I find it's good for roadkill, splitting the spinal column between the vertebrae, because it is thinner. It can fit a little bit more neatly between the vertebrae.
Yeah.
But I've also used my one with the green for roadkill.
When the Colonel was here, which one did you use? Remember, he was going, what are you going to use that for?
Yeah, I used this one.
Yeah.
Now, I like this one for roadkill as well, because it's thin on the bottom and it slightly tapers up, so it's like a wedge.
Yeah.
It kind of opens the vertebrae up.
Yeah.
But that one is nice and thin. It gets between a lot of the vertebrae.
Yeah, this is the one you used when the Colonel was here, and he was all confused.
Yeah.
You're going up to take the head off that porcupine.
Yeah, and he was confused. He's like, what are you going to do with it? Yeah. And I just pointed and said, look up at the wall. And I think I said that 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And I said, look up at the wall, or I've got all my skulls hanging.
But look at the stiffness in that. Look at
Yep.
you know, that is a well-made machete there. But like I said, I'm really, it's too long for me, right?
And one thing I'd add is that if you're going to get a machete and you want a really, really good one,
Yeah.
get one that's made in the third world countries where they're actually used on a daily basis.
That's right.
Because they know how to make them.
That's right. Like I say, Brazil. You know, it's Brazil makes great machetes. You know, like I said, I've had this Tramontina since 1973 or 1974. I can't remember the exact year. Right? And I used it for years when I took it whenever I went with the military. Wherever I went, I had this with me. And then you've used it now since we've been down here for the last 8 years.
Yep.
Right? And when I saw this one, I said, yeah, because I really do like the Tramontinas. And I know that this, right, I mean, the thickness in this is really good. It rivals this one. Right? And I knew that I want it. And the weight, it's got a good front weight.
Yeah.
Right? You know, and so on. So anyway, that's basically all I got to say. You got anything more to add?
I can't think of anything.
No? Well, there you go. That's our take on machetes from two people that use them on a regular basis. And we do use them. Right? You know, cut trail with them, and I use the buggers, and I love a machete. I love a chainsaw, and I love an axe. I love a hatchet. But you know, when I go out there, right, and if I was only going to take one tool, that's the tool I would take. Right. So, you got nothing else to say?
Nope.
Until next time.